This is your Skeleton Crew Episode 1, Season 1 review. This is the brand new show by Disney Plus, which is kind of your kid-friendly Star Wars, and we can't wait to talk about it with you. I am Doc John, your host for the Lapsed Geek podcast. Basically, a pirate ship attacks out in space a New Republic transport, and their captain, Captain Silvo, gets all the way to the vault. They've lost a bunch of men along the way. They break into the vault, and they find one credit. And so the pirate crew mutinies on Captain Silvo, and we go to black and we have no idea what happens after they grab him. Then we are taken to suburban Star Wars, and this is absolutely suburban Star Wars, as we meet a child named Wim, who is going to school. He meets his friend Neil, who is a blue elephant-looking child, and they play Jedi and things like that, and then they go to school where they are pegged to do menial jobs for the rest of their lives, like comptrollers and things like that, data assistants. And anyway, Wim dreams of greater adventure. The next day, he's supposed to take his huge assessment exam, and instead he oversleeps. He can't get to school. He ends up taking his hover bike. He crashes it in the woods, and he finds a doorway buried in the woods. Then he's basically found by a droid and brought to school, and his dad makes a deal that he can take the test the next day, but he loses points on it or something like that. But he goes to Neil that day anyway, and he says, I know I'm supposed to study. I have to take the exam tomorrow, but I have to show you this thing that I found in the woods. It's a Jedi temple. So they go there, and instead they find Fern and KB, two girls from school. KB is like one of those guys, it's a girl, but one of those guys from Cloud City with the cybernetic attachments. And Fern is basically a star student at school who is a rebel and races hover bikes. So anyway, with KB's help, because of her cybernetic attachments, they manage to open the doorway, and it turns out they're in a spaceship, and they're able to restore the power. And even though he's told not to touch anything, Wim, of course, presses a button. The ship activates. It's on a pre-programmed course. It takes them up into space, and then it suddenly goes into hyperspace. The episode is a 7 out of 10. It's a good one to share with your kids, and it doesn't feel weighed down by a lot of the things that Star Wars has felt weighed down with in the recent past. It's sort of a brand new storyline. Yeah, there's the hint of the Jedi. The kids know about it and everything like that, but it's kind of the way your kids know about the Jedi. They just want to have fun with it. Oh, it's evil versus good. And it looks like it's going to be a real adventure story, and we're only just getting started with episode 1. That's why it only gets a 7. The sets and everything are great. The acting is actually very good for child actors, so that didn't particularly bother me in any single way. So it's actually a really good Star Wars thing. Whether you have kids or whether you just want to watch it alone, it's actually okay. It's a nice breath of fresh air for Star Wars. So we're looking forward to the next few episodes, and we're going to bring them to you as we get them. Thanks for checking out the channel.